Hi everyone, Emma here. I am kind of excited to show you how to do a, let me see what they call it, herringbone chevron stitch or a herringbone stitch using two-hole beads. So I'll show you the one that's finished here. So I do have a couple of videos on how to make this stitch, but it's one of my favorite stitches. And I did notice this weekend when I was trying to do a design for Kath from England for her the bounty that I'm sending her bracelets. This is one of my favorite, and I think it's one that we can get some colors that might match what she's wearing to her grandson's wedding. So I was looking at it. The video that I put on how to do this, the first couple of rows are a bit confusing. And so when I went to do it, I followed my own video and I was surprised it was confusing. So I did a search of different videos and I watched about 10 different videos, and surprisingly, everybody uses a different combination of stitches at the start and stuff like that. And it's not very clear at the turnaround. And that's the second row when you turn around. That's where I was having issues. So I'm going to see if we can recreate it and make this a little simpler for you. And at the end, I'll show you some of the different color combinations that I did to get an idea. So we'll put this one up here in case we need to reference it. I'm going to use number 6 dragon thread. I'm using these twin beads. They're like a metallic blue color. And then I'm going to use these bright lime green 11O check beads. So the idea was, I think one of the color suggestions she had for an outfit she bought is blue and green. So I thought this might be the color combination. If it isn't, this is still a fun thing to do. And the reason I'm using a different color 11O bead, like normally, as you see in this one, I just used gold. So I did some previous ones with gold beads and silver beads. But I'll tell you, I did some samples and you'll see at the end with different color beads. It looks amazing. So definitely worth trying out. Now you can use super duos. You don't have to use twin beads. I had bought like some bulk twin beads, so I wanted to use them first. And the initial design I saw used twin beads, but you can definitely use super duos for this. And somebody had asked me how many beads it was to make one of these bracelets. Now this is for a 7-inch wrist, and it used, I think it came up to 356 beads, which is about 2 tubes. Let me see if I have a tube to show you. Like a tube this size that I get from Art Beads, 2 tubes of super duos. I think they say there's 136 super duos in one of these tubes, so the 256 would have covered it. So that's good to know, because it's no fun when you go to do a design, something as lovely as this, and you realize it's going to take like 4 tubes of beads or something like that. So this is still kind of a doable thing. So let me adjust the camera and we'll bring you up close, and we are going to do our best to get this properly in so that it's not confusing. So the first thing you're going to do is put a stop bead, and these twin beads have a lot of these single hole little blobs in the container. I got them at Shipwreck Beads, in case you're wondering. They have a good stock of twin beads. So I just take one of these. You can use just a regular stop bead, whatever you have on hand. I am going to leave about a 12 centimeter tail so that I can weave it back in. You can add your clasp at that point too, if you have enough thread. So let's do that. So to start with, you're going to add one 11O 1 twin bead, and then you're going to add sets of 3. So you're going to do 3 11/0s, 1 twin to 3 11/0, another twin, and I'll show you once I have them all on exactly what this looks like. So there's your 3 11/0s. I'm gonna one more twin and then 2 11/0s. So I'm gonna magnify this. And I don't think I have my, I made notes, but they're not here. A lot of good the notes do, eh? So 1 11/0, 1 twin bead, 3 11/0, 1 twin bead, 3 11/0, 1 twin bead, 3 11/0, 1 twin bead, and 2 beads. So you're going to take that and put it all the way to the bottom, like that. And I am going to, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through the open hole on that last twin bead. And I'm going to try and keep it snug, but it's not, you know, don't worry if it doesn't, there's ways to tighten it a bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 1 11/0 and 1 twin bead. So now I'm just going to hold my open holes of my twin beads towards my needle. So I'm going to grab the first 11/0 past this twin bead. So you can see this is getting loose, not a big deal. So just grab this first one and you're going to go through the open hole of the next twin bead. So pull that down and we'll adjust this in a second. So let's just pull those 2 that are at the end, pull it, and that will bring that first row tight, and then grab these and pull it tight. So it looks really kind of messy at this point, and that's where the confusion starts, but we'll try and make this as straightforward as possible. So you're always going to, from now on, you're always going to pick up 1 11/0 and 1 twin bead along here. When we do our turnarounds, we add a few more beads. I'll get to that. So go through that first bead, pass the twin bead that you're coming out of, and go through the open hole. You can do this in 2 steps, but I like to do it all at once. Go through the open hole of the following twin bead. Let's get this down here. And I'm going to pull that. So you can see it's starting to line up in this kind of chevron pattern. So stick it one way, then the other. Okay, so one more time. 1 11/0, 1 twin bead. Your thread's coming out of here. You're gonna see if I can hang on to this. It doesn't flip around. Okay, get that one there. Go through the first 11/0 past that twin bead that you're coming out of, and then go through the open hole of the next twin bead. And pull. So let's take a look at what we have to make sure it's, so these 2 pieces need to be on the other side, like this. There, that looks better, like that. Okay, so when you're trying to straighten these up on these first, it's only these 2 rows that you'll have problems with. When you're trying to straighten it up, I found if I pulled my thread up, it brings the final twin bead you're going through, it brings it up into the position that it should be, close to that seed bead, and just makes it so much better. Now we need one more here, because at this point we only have 1, 2, 3. So let's pick up an 11-0. And this is where I was having issues with. It wasn't quite clear about this one. So we've got an 11-0 and a twin bead. We're going to do the same thing, except we don't have a twin to go through. So we're just going to go through this 11-0. And this is where I was totally messed up. But what I did was I sat down and I was like, okay, let me just start this several times till I get it right. And that's all it took. So now, nice and snug here. So now we need to turn around and come through the other side of that twin that we just added. So let's pick up 2 beads, because we have that 1 bead there is going to combine to make the 3. Now, in some of the other designs, and in this one I could have added a 3rd bead there too. I probably will add it at the end when I'm attaching a clasp, but I forgot to put it. But in some of the designs, they don't do that. So, you know, they just have the 2 beads there. So there's your turnaround. Okay, so now we're just going to go up. And this way too, what I've done is I've put my stop bead near the bottom, and I'm hanging on to this thread to hold on to my work. When I get to the end, I just turn my hand and go down this way. You can flip your work every time, especially after this point. It's so straightforward. You should be able to see where you need to put things. So pick up an 11-0, twin bead. You're coming out of this one. You're going to go through this 11-0 and the open hole of the next. And I will show you how to tighten that, because you can see now it's loose in here. So just grab hold of the 2 beads on the end, and I'll just grab hold of that and kind of pinch it with your nail. Pull and then pull up, and that will snug it up. So let's just keep going for a bit to get an idea. So 1 11-0 and 1 twin bead. Coming out of here, we're going to go through this 11-0 and through the open hole of that twin bead. And I'm using a size 12 needle. You can use a size 10. These beads are not super small. I think I used some 50 no's for beads to see if it changed the look of the bracelet. And so that's why I used the 12, but even the size 10 would go through. So pick up an 11-0, a twin bead. Coming out of here, we're going to go through this 11-0 and through that open hole. Hang on to your work and pull like that. Pick up. So now we're at the end. We don't have another super or a twin bead up here, but remember, we're just going to go through this. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I'll tell you, this is such a fun design, and it's super fast to do once you get the hang of it. But that initial 2 rows are such a mess that I got discouraged. So I wanted to make sure that you can see what's going on so that you can do it and make lots of beautiful bracelets. So here's an 11-0 and a twin bead. We're coming out of here. We're going to go through this 11-0. And that's what we have so far. So I don't know, it's hard for me to see when I'm doing videos to see if everything looks really interesting until I walk away and see it from a distance. I'm like super up close to this. So now I've added 2. It's hard to tell with these beads. There's 2 there. 11-0s. I'm going to you're coming out of that 11-0, I'm going to go through the open hole of the twin bead like that. So now I'm going to go back down my work. So pick up an 11-0 and a twin bead, go through your 11-0 and your twin bead open hole. And let's see if this needs to be snugged up. Okay, 11-0, twin bead, go through the 11-0 and open hole of the twin bead. There. 11-0, twin bead. So the solar eclipse is happening right now. It's still bright out. I think it's happening at different times, I guess. Okay, so we're going to pick up an 11-0 twin bead. We're going to go through this 11-0 like that. Sometimes these twin beads are really fat on one side and not on the other, so they may not sit the way, like it looks like this is almost up too much. But so now we're going to add 2 beads here to finish this off. Go through the open hole of the twin bead. I'm going to pull this. I feel like this is not the way I like it. This is looking really nice, actually. I love lime green. I used to have lime green Crocs, and my wife's. I would wear them to the mailbox and things like that. Around the house. I wouldn't wear them out of the house, but just like I had pink ones too. I wanted to do a video on designing, like decorating the Crocs and like doing children's ones and stuff like that. But used to be able to get them at the dollar store for like $2, and now they're charging $5 and $6. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that's a great idea, but sometimes when I get ideas for doing videos that are out of the ordinary, people are interested, but I get maybe 300 views instead of thousands. So it's like, well, why am I, going out of my way for doing silly things? I like silly. So this is the last one on this row. Let's go through. I am feeling, so these beads that I'm using are a bit tubular. So they fit in nicely. You can see a bit of the thread. And I feel like they're not, like when I was using the other round seed beads, they felt like they were locking in the super duos or the twin beads. And it doesn't feel like that's happening right now, but it could be just, I haven't used these blue beads either. So now we added our 2 at the top. So let's pick up an 11-0. We'll do a few more rows, see what we get. And a twin bead, we're going to go through the 11 and through the hole of the twin bead like that. And that's I think, so you can see this thread here. I want to get that snug, so I'm going to pull that right in and hang on to those and then pull my thread. There, that's better. That's actually snugging it up. But see, there's another thread here. I should have tightened it at the other down here, I guess. So I think this is a design that you can easily do sitting on the couch. I find sitting at my desk doing some of these designs really hard because your hands are like your arms are not rested on anything. And to get a good, nice tension, I like my arms to be rested on the side of the couch. That's my excuse for beating in front of the TV. My wife's like, "Are you watching this with me? Or are you beating?" Jennifer, don't ask questions like that when you don't want the answer. I'm always beating. I'm beating in my sleep. I had a girlfriend in grade 10, I think. She was from England and she used to do these really intricate necklaces, and it was all like kind of woven style. So like a big necklace like this, and you would get like this row was attached to the next row, and then it went down, and then it broke off, and it was like unbelievable, the intricacy of the designs that she would make. I wish I'd had paid more attention to what she was doing. It was pretty amazing. We used to get a lot of students from other countries because they, if they were stationed here or were working here for a certain amount of time, they would send their kids to private school. So, yeah. Oh, this is looking really nice. Ooh. Yeah, you definitely need a couple of rows. Let's do one more row. And then I'll show you the other stuff. You'll have to tell me which one you like best. I still haven't, there's one that I like, but it's not the colors that she mentioned. So I could, I'm definitely going to finish it, but I don't know if I was hoping to get the color that she would be able to use. Because this is it's not like super, oh, this one's flashy. But the other ones aren't like super, super flashy, so they might go with what she's wearing. I keep looking out the back window to see if it's dark out yet, but not yet. Okay. One color I thought of doing, it's kind of not really just a color, is I thought of picking a bunch of different colors together, whether it's an ombre or a rainbow. Actually, I have all the rainbow colors, and to put that in across, going across the bracelet, that would be so cool. I'll have to try that. So there is this color. Look at that. Oh, this is really cool. It's turning out nice. Okay, so let me show you the other ones that I did, and you can tell me which one you prefer. So I thought these colors, this white with the crystally, that was the other thing, is I tried to pick different type of beads that could go in the design. So these are these 2 by 1.5 millimeter crystals that I got from BB Craft. These are gorgeous. But surprisingly, when I put them in a bracelet, it didn't translate. So it's interesting. Find the right one, and maybe it's because the color of the twin bead was a little too over the top. So this was the one. So I did the navy blue, and I thought with those white beads, I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't have this kind of pop. So yeah, I don't know, maybe when it's all done longer it might. So that's the one color. So then I thought, let me take the white beads with the blue sparkly crystals that I got from BB Craft. So that's these here. This one, I really liked how it turned out. So this one's definitely doable. You can really see, even when it's just sitting there, you can see the blue crystals kind of shimmering a little more than this one. Okay, so let's put this one here. Wait, do you see the next one? This one looks ridiculous. It's like electric. So then I did this one. This one's actually really nice, turned out. So this was, I just stopped because I was running out of thread. But so this I used just a regular champagne seed bead 11-0 with the white. This is lovely. Look at that. That'll look amazing. So there's that one. And my all-time favorite. What? Isn't this pretty? With the turquoise. Who does not like white and turquoise? It's very kind of beachy themed. These are just turquoise with AB on them. I did find, oh, these were the 15-0s, so you can see a lot of the thread. So you definitely need an 11-0 in these. You can see all of the threads. So these are called opaque rainbow turquoise. But there you go. Oh, ta-da! Let me know which one's your favorite. Thanks for joining me, and let me know if you make this bracelet or if you have any suggestions for color combos. And if you want me to do a color combo, just let me know and we'll try and work it out. In the meantime, I think I need to go get my rainbow colored ones and do a rainbow across. See how that turns out. Take care, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye.